What's going on, everyone? Scott here. Welcome back to the channel. So Michigan State basketball win their 12th straight game, moving their record to 17-2 overall, 8-0 in the conference, with an 81-74 win over Rutgers in Madison Square Garden on Saturday afternoon. Now, this feels like Michigan State's first win at Madison Square Garden in quite a while. We talked about it coming into this game. Tom Izzo, as a head coach of Michigan State, was only 4-13 going into Saturday. Well, you can move that record to 5-13. With this win, overall, Michigan State didn't shoot it well in the game, but was able to hold Rutgers in check. Do just enough. Michigan State didn't play good for, some stretches in this game, but was able to flip it around, turn it on, and get it going in the first half, and then same thing to stave off Rutgers' runs in the second half to make it close. Michigan State, I'd say, won kind of like the middle part of the game, second half of the first half, and then the first part of the second half. And I'd say Rutgers won the first couple minutes of the first half and won the last couple minutes of the second half. But overall, a win is a win. Michigan State gets a win. Keeps on moving here in conference play. But before we do jump into this matchup, if you could, just hit that like and subscribe button down there. More Michigan State basketball content on the channel. We got 12 games left in the season. We'll be here to preview, recap everything from here on out. Spring practices for football will be starting soon. We'll be back with an off-season transfer portal, watch list, who's coming in, who left, and all that stuff before we do get in. But anyway, just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of that. So starting with Rutgers, obviously we talked about the biggest thing, their two top 5 lottery picks in next year's NBA draft, more than likely, in Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper. Now, Dylan Harper was dealing with an injury, didn't start in this one, did try to give it a go, but he was only able to go about 13 minutes in this one. 6 points and a steal in his minutes, but just couldn't give it a go. And Ace Bailey played pretty much the whole game, played 39 minutes. He had his 18 points, 9 rebounds. He was doing solid work, but overall Michigan State was able to keep him fairly inefficient from the field. 4 for 17 overall, 2 for 5 from the 3. He was 8 for 8 from the free throw line, so he did a good job getting there as well. But overall, outside of Bailey for Rutgers, really kind of held most of the roster in check, but besides deep on the bench, someone we didn't talk about pregame, Jordan Durkak, 26 points off the bench, 7 for 11 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3, 8 for 9 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds as well. He was incredible for them off the bench in 27 minutes, but outside of those two guys, no one else scored more than 9 points. Dylan Grant had 9 points for them. And Rutgers, like we talked about, didn't turn it over a lot in this one. Only 6 turnovers from Rutgers. But overall, good, solid defensive performance from Michigan State. But as we said, outside of their 2 lottery picks and a couple guys that shot it decently well for Rutgers, this was a game that Michigan State, definitely should have been able to do that. If you saw 2 players for Rutgers scoring 18 and 26 points, you would assume it was Harper and Bailey, but, shocker, some guy off the bench goes off for probably a career high, I'm guessing, off the bench against Michigan State. That's what usually happens, but Michigan State, as we said, able to do enough to hold off Rutgers in this one. Switching over to the Michigan State side, really kind of interesting bag when you look at the box score here for Michigan State. We'll start out with the starting lineup. It wasn't really Jackson's night. Only played 10 minutes. He had 2 points, 2 rebounds, only shot 1 shot, 1 for 1 from the field. Simone Zapala played 14 minutes. He was 2 for 2 from the field with 4 points, but both of them had 3 fouls as well. And really from the center rotation, which is something that, this is something that I have said, and a lot of the fan base has said, is something that would love to see more of, is the center rotation didn't get a lot of minutes. Now, a lot of these guys, Jackson Kohler specifically, Carson Cooper over the last couple games, I thought has looked solid. Simone Zapala has had his moments as well, but playing more of that small ball lineup with Xavier Booker at the 5, or even getting a little spicy and putting Cohen Carr at the 5, would love to see that. And we saw some of that with Xavier Booker playing quite a bit in this one. We said that we thought that this might be one that Xavier Booker should see more minutes, and he did. 18 minutes, most out of any of the big men that can play the 5 position, really there. Cohen Carr, second on the team outside of Trey Holloman in terms of minutes. He had 27. We'll get to Cohen Carr and Jace Richardson in a minute, because they definitely had the 2 best games for Michigan State, but Trey Holloman just his solid self, 9 points, 6 assists. Jeremy Fierce kind of struggled a little bit. He had 4 points, 4 assists in this one. Had 4 turnovers as well. Jaden Akins struggling shooting from the field. He was getting his shots. He was just just straight up missing. He was 3 for 15 overall, 1 for 7 from 3. Still ended up with 12 points though, getting to the line, 5 for 6 overall, but didn't turn it over though. Just the missed shots is just something that sticks out. He, definitely shot the most shots on the team and going 3 for 15. That sucks, and still being able for Michigan State to pull that out is impressive. With that overall, off the bench, I thought again Frankie had some solid minutes, 4 points, 5 assists, and him really kind of playing more of that 4 position. Over the last couple games, I saw a lot of people talking about this online as well, has really opened things up for him, and things are kind of starting to slow down, it seems like, and kind of getting into the flow of things over the last couple. And even it doesn't even have to be like him playing the 4. It's if he can just, as we said, kind of attack the glass, do the other things, that if his shot isn't going 0 for 2 from 3 tonight for Frankie, he's been able to hit a couple shots over the last couple games, but just doing that other stuff to help the team win. As we said, 4 points. I think I said 5 rebounds, but 5 assists in this one. 3 rebounds. I think that was solid. He playmaking. He had a nice, dribble to the paint, spin around to the corner for 3, and I think it was Jace Richardson hit it down. Solid game from Frankie Fiddler, in my opinion. Xavier Booker, we talked about in 18 minutes, 9 points. Had 4 blocks in this one. That was impressive. 4 rebounds as well. So love to see that. But then the 2 that really won this thing for Michigan State. Cohen Carr in 27 minutes. He had 14 points, 8 rebounds. Running the floor really well. Playing solid defense as well. Something that's really coming along throughout the season. And then Jace Richardson, career high, 20 points. Had 4 rebounds as well in this one. And he was 5 for 5 from the free throw line. 6 for 9 from the field. 3 for 4 from 3. Really solid game, just playmaking for him. Just always making the right play. I think they said this on the broadcast too, like, is this not the quietest? I think he had 18 at the time, like 20, whatever it is. But it really was. Like, that was a very quiet, 20 points for Jace Richardson. But all of his buckets always come at timely moments and make a big impact on winning for Michigan State. And overall in this one, like I kind of said a couple games ago, where Michigan State is still finding ways to win, even when they don't play their best. And that's a testament to Michigan State's depth this season, and just kind of making enough winning plays. I mean, you shoot 48%, you're shooting under 50% from the field in this one. You shoot 26% from 3-point range. You turn the ball over 15 times, which was atrocious, and you only forced 6 turnovers on the other side of the ball. 21 fast break points were solid, but the things that are winning games for Michigan State with their depth is getting to the paint, 42 point paints compared to 26 for Rutgers, and then out-rebounding Rutgers by 10, 44 to 34. Those are recipes for success for Michigan State in a game where you don't play your best. As I said, I thought Rutgers won the first couple minutes of the game and the last little bit of the game, and then Michigan State kind of just solidified themselves in that middle portion, the last 10 and the first 10 of the second half, really, to do enough to give themselves that lead, and then doing enough to stave off the comeback at the end to pull out this win. But overall, solid win for Michigan State, getting a win at Madison Square Garden, where Michigan State has historically struggled. I think is a big one, and as we said, moves 8-0, especially with some losses in the conference. Over the last week, you had Purdue lose, you had the school down the road, Michigan, lose to Purdue. Obviously, Illinois lost as well, and you just beat them. So I believe Michigan State's played a couple less games than some of the other teams at the top of the Big Ten standings right now. But as of right now, I think Michigan State's up to about a 2-game lead right now in the Big Ten standings, but they have played 2 less games than Purdue has, so the games behind doesn't really add up to that. But overall now, Tuesday, you have Minnesota coming in, who did just beat Oregon on Saturday, so not going to be an easy game there. And then you have your West Coast swing with at USC and at UCLA starting next Saturday. And then you come back home to face now number 15 Oregon, probably drop a little bit, might drop out of the top 25 after losing that game to Minnesota. But overall, solid game from Michigan State overall, to be able to come out and win when they haven't played their best. And that's what we said. Love about this team is it's someone different every night. It's just every night, if you just need to you're playing 10 guys still, just find 2 guys to get it done for you. And, you pull out a win. That's just what Michigan State's been able to do this season. So hopefully they're able to keep that up as they move into the tougher part of their schedule into February. But anyway, that'll do it for this one. We'll be back, obviously, with a preview for the Minnesota game on Tuesday. So thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.